dedicated my life to working specifically with Black couples because I wanted to help my community and help them establish a foundation in which their children and their children's children will continue to inherit and master those skill sets, which will eventually elevate our position in society. Who is Mac Stanley? I think most people would expect me to say that I'm a therapist, right? But in reality, that's not my identity. That's just exactly what I do professionally speaking. But in reality, Mac Stanley is a father, a longtime partner, a professional in the therapeutic field, and someone that is fun, engaging, bravado, loves to work out, likes to eat a lot, and likes to travel. That's who Mac Stanley Cazeau is. Somebody that's just looking to have fun, make money, enjoy life, and provide for his family and his closest friends. What inspired me to become a therapist with a specialty in couples therapy is because myself, I was looking for answers for a very long time. I was with my partner and I was not a good partner because I didn't know better. I didn't know how to communicate. I didn't know how to address conflict. I didn't know how to build friendship and all these type of things. But I knew that's the woman that I wanted to be with. But my past trauma, my lack of knowledge, my misunderstanding of what it takes to make a relationship work made it very difficult for us to actually grow together and overcome these challenges. So I went to school to kind of learn more, but to also address the difficulties I was having in my relationship. So once I was able to fix mine, I was like, man, I wonder how many other people out there are looking for relationship help, but are not gaining access to the data, the knowledge, and the research that is needed for them to overcome these challenges.
When we start to get in more personality-based things, that's where we can solve that. We need to manage that. I'm a dog person, she's a cat person. We'll never solve it. You're an extrovert, you're an introvert. You'll never solve it. So the way that you're gonna show up at a party is very different. And it can cause a lot of conflict if you guys don't learn how to manage that difference.
So that's why I dedicated my life to working specifically with Black couples because I wanted to help my community and help them establish a foundation in which their children and their children's children will continue to inherit and master those skill sets, which will eventually elevate our position in society. Here's the reality. I became a father. And when I became a father, I realized what truly mattered. It's not about how much money I was making. It was more about how much time am I spending with my children, because they are the one that actually give me joy, love, compassion, and everything that I was ever seeking along with my wife. I remember vividly, I was at work and my wife called me. My daughter was recently born and she was like, she just said dada. And she puts a camera to her face and she's like, can you say dada? And she would not say it. I cried on the phone. I got very emotional because I said, yo, I missed that. And I'm here stuck at work doing bullshit versus witnessing what really matters to me and what really caters to my heart. And on that day, I said, okay, I won't be here for long. I started my private practice weeks after. I started working part-time to the point that I was out earning my 9-to-5 income. I dedicated myself to social media. I hired a manager. I just started working and just showing up on social media being myself. And I started to go viral. Clients started coming to me, and I also noticed that the way that I view and talk about relationships was vastly different from what was out there. So I was able to create a niche very quickly, and I've always wanted to be able to say, you know what, I'm not working today, or you know what, I don't want to work with this person or that person. If my daughter came to me and say, Daddy, I want you to take the day off, I want to be able to say, okay, versus having to log into ADP and check if I have sick time or etc. or some nonsense. I wanted to take ownership of my life my time, because those are the things that I would never get back, and learn to be present for my family as a Black man, as opposed to solely being a provider. Man, how was my transition from being born and raised in Haiti for 14 years to coming to America only knowing 3 words? Good morning, yes, and no. As an 8th grader in middle school, wearing church clothes every day with my shirt tucked into my pants, wearing shoes in the snow because that's how I would dress when I was home back in Haiti. It was a culture shock. I hated every second of it. I cried endlessly for months because my parents did not prepare me to be in America. We're told we're going on vacation, and then we just never ever went back. So to some degree, I felt betrayed, lied to, and etc. And me and my mom just had that conversation about 3 months ago. And I'm like, why didn't you prepare me? That transition was very tough for us. And now hearing her story, I understand why she did it, and also how tough it was for her as well. And being a child, being 14, 15, 16, and seeing your mother transition into a country that she also doesn't know the language, don't understand the culture, and seeing the struggles that she went through. Bro, I was living in a basement for up to 5 years. I slept on a couch for 5 years, right? And now I'm a homeowner. Right, so I've come from humble beginnings, because back home in Haiti, I was part of the bourgeoisie to some degree. I had made, so my parents were well off. Coming here, having to live with family that were very helpful and very nice, that offered their space to you. But eventually you do become an inconvenience because it's more people than what they're used to. So it was definitely a transition. It wasn't planned, but I am thankful that I am here. And now I'm in a position where I can give back to my people, to my other family members that are not here. It was an opportunity that was given to me where I was asked to be on a panel with a stipend of $400. That opportunity did not work out and was taken away. And then 2 hours later, I received a call from a Haitian organization willing to pay vastly more than that stipend. And I waived my fee. Why? Because they were going back home to Haiti to help folks that were in need. So as a professional and as a Haitian myself, there's no way that I could ask you to pay me to serve my community and take funds away from those that actually need it. Because at the end of the day, one thing about Haitians is that we're very proud and we're very loyal to one another. I love that question. And what's interesting is that skill sets, the skills and knowledge of what it takes to make a relationship work transcends any culture or any background in reality, right? Friendship, communication skills, conflict management, passion, romance, acts of service, like all of these things can transcend through culture and background. So yes, a lot of times I do get mixed couples, I do get mixed backgrounds, but at the end of the day, I tend to focus primarily, just based on my training, on their skill sets. What is it that they are lacking, or what is it that they don't have knowledge of that will help them overcome whatever challenge that they are facing?
I want to know your thoughts on the classic advice of don't go to bed angry. Because you hear that from all the OGs.
Yeah. I would never sleep.
Right.
I went to bed angry last night.
I know. I take time to process. You know, there's 2 types of people. I feel like there's types of people who immediately want to have the conversation right now. And then some people are processors. They need a day, they need a couple hours, they need some time so they can get their thoughts together or get their attitude together and make sure that they can have the conversation in a loving way.
The population have this idea that therapists serve as a referee, especially in couples therapy, and that's actually the furthest thing from the truth. I don't give answers. I teach you the skills and the knowledge that you need to have the uncomfortable but necessary conversations so you can reach the conclusion that's beneficial to your relationship. What works for my relationship may not work for your relationship. Hence why I cannot tell you what to do. So what I tend to experience the most in my couples work is infidelity. I promote myself as an infidelity recovery specialist. So that people know exactly who to target when they are experiencing these things in their relationship and want to rebuild trust and reconnect. But what we mostly don't understand is that infidelity is the symptom of a bigger issue, not the disease, right? So by doing the work, what it actually comes down to is communication skills. Do I know how to voice what my needs are? And when I'm voicing it, are you able to hear what I am saying? Or are you filtering what I'm saying based on your assumptions and your perception of me? And fidelity is due to emotional needs not being met in the relationship, and people have to seek out, human nature, have to seek out outside of the relationships in order for these needs to be met. And the reason why is because in the relationship it's not happening because a lot of time we are not having the uncomfortable conversations that we need to have, or I just don't know how to voice, hey, I need more attention. Hey, I feel invisible to you. Hey, my emotional needs are not being met in this relationship. There's only 4% African American therapists, and I think only 1% of us are Black male therapists. I think one of the reasons why there's not a lot of people that look like me in therapy is because they cannot find people that understand them, that look like them, that communicate the way that they do. So there's a lack of representation. So I do think my ethnicity sets me apart, but in reality, it comes down to my artistry. All therapists, to some degree, have the same knowledge, right? We all went to the same similar schools, read the same books, and etc. Like, we all have that same knowledge. What sets us apart is your artistry, your ability to use your knowledge and present it in a way that's conducive and understandable by those that are hearing you. Is how you show up in sessions, is your ability to build a rapport and a connection with your client very quickly. Personally, I am me consistently, social media, in sessions, out in public, when I'm doing events. If someone say, yo, this is Mac being Mac, most people would understand what that means without any added information. I think my authenticity allow people to trust me. And plus, when people hear me talk about couples, I think they hear things that they were not privy to before, which allows them and creates some type of curiosity for them to want to work with me. I get a lot of emails, I get a lot of DMs, I get a lot of phone calls about couples wanting to work with me, and me having strict boundaries in the number of people that I can work with, because again, I need to be present for my family, for my children, and for myself, right? So there's no way that I could serve the amount of people that actually want to work with me. So I decided to create events, as I would take my therapy sessions and my knowledge and kind of blend it into like 4, 6 hours or 2-hour events and present it to the public in a very engaging way so they can start doing the work even though they are not working with me. There's not enough spaces for couples that actually are willing to learn and wanting to gain access to the knowledge, the skill sets, the mindset, the ideas, apart from this gender war that exists on social media.
By doing these small type workshops, people get to come and get the knowledge and the information, and that can lead them closer to wanting to try therapy. And even if they can't get to therapy, my workshops are built in a way where you're still getting the therapeutic information. For example, the Valentine's Day event, that was 8 couple sessions in one event.
So I view that as a lane for me to continue to educate, to be reachable, to kind of meet people's demands whilst remaining faithful to my boundaries and to the needs of my family. How do I manage my work-life balance? I don't. My wife does. She runs my schedule. She reviews my emails. If I got to go somewhere, she booked the flights. She does all of those things to make sure that it works for her and for the family. Because when I step away, everything falls back on her. So I always make sure that she is a part of every decision that is being made. And I'm gonna be honest with you, she's smarter than me. way smarter than me. So I have no problem turning over all of my finances, all of my businesses to her. I even said eventually I want her to be the CEO and I'll just be the talent. And to me, that would be perfect. I don't want these phone calls. I don't want to read emails. I don't want to send emails. I don't want to do all of these logistic things. She's excellent at that. I knew early on the skill sets that she had were kind of adjacent to what I don't have. Creating the time to be with my family and my daughters while also being an entrepreneur, being in private practice and doing all the things that I do has been a blessing, man. Being able to wake up one day and be like, all right, I'm just not gonna have sessions, or to even create a schedule that's conducive to when they need to go to bed. My daughter knows at 7 o'clock, she's gonna come and knock on my door, Daddy, it's bath time. And she knows that's when my last session ends. I'll take her to give her a bath, have dinner, and put her to bed, right? So those are the things that mean the most to me to some degree, because those are the experiences that I never had as a child. But now as a man, I am able to heal my inner younger self by parenting. So I think that my daughters, my family have been able to heal a part of myself that I didn't even know was in need of healing. And better yet, it made me address my own patriarchy and misogyny that I didn't even know I partook in. I remember that whenever I would describe my daughter to other people, like, yo, how's your daughter? I'm like, oh my gosh, she's so beautiful. She's so gorgeous. She's so loving. But I would never talk about how courageous, how strong, how determined she was. I would just use attributes to describe her physically versus all of the other assets that she had to provide, right? So I think I've become a better person, a better man, a better leader, a better father, a better therapist, a better partner, a better member of the community due to becoming a parent. And every day I thank my wife, because without her, to you not be talking to this version of Mac. I guarantee you, bro. You'll not be talking to me. To those that are looking to be a therapist, my biggest advice would be to specialize in one thing and one thing only. I know that when we graduate, we tend to say that I work with individuals, couples, and family. That's too wide. Think what the world needs, what the Black community needs, what people of color needs is specialties. I specialize in this. So when there is a specific need for that, they know exactly where to go. Because going to therapy is one thing, but we need therapists to also be great therapists. And you cannot do so if you're just available to everything and to everyone. Hone in on your skill sets, target that audience and that population, and be the change that is needed in today's society. I've hired and will continue to hire other therapists to work with me, not for me, or with me, to serve as a mentor, to continue to build up the next generation of therapists that will be doing amazing work in this field and for our community. Could follow me on Instagram, talk to Mac_therapist, talk to ALK, the number 2, Mac MAC_therapist. You can also listen to my podcast, Menage a Mind, Menage a Trois. Just replace the trois with the mind. I'm sure everybody can spell Menage a Trois. Right? So Menage a Mind. And just continue to engage with my content, show up to all of these events that we're having in New York City and eventually worldwide. And I look forward to seeing everybody on this Black Love Retreat.